You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
I hung a tapestry in my room. Yeah, that's how slow it is.
It's just out of nowhere. You hit me with that, Adam.
I'm staring at it right now.
We're not even recording.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
I mean, we're recording.
Yeah.
I haven't said the name of the episode.
Take it there. Retake. This isn't gonna work. We're not talking about any integrity. We are trying to exploit a generation. Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy. You guys played footsie under the table?
No, yes, that's irrelevant.
I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No. There's potato vodka everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to have to start, because that's got to be part of it. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 207. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham.
What's this tapestry?
So
Now, Adam, have you turned your house into a Far Cry 4-esque heroin den? With tapestries and gold money wheels spinning?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
I
Do
don't
you have a
money
Goku,
wheels.
silk screen Goku on the wall?
No.
You got to get one
It's
of those
actually
sweet
really cool.
scrolls.
It's actually pretty cool. It's
Okay.
It's a 3D tapestry.
Okay. Most objects are in 3 dimensions, Adam.
I suppose, but the image is in
Oh, the
3D.
image upon the tapestry.
Yes.
Now, why is this a tapestry?
That's what it was called, and you hang it on a wall.
So it's like cloth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what makes it 3-dimensional?
When you put on 3D glasses and look at it, it goes 3-dimensional.
What? Wait a minute.
Anyway.
So, Adam,
Yeah.
you clean up the house. You're gonna have guests over. Like give them the grand tour.
No.
Come on into the master bedroom. Please put on these 3-dimensional glasses to view my artwork.
Well,
The art in your home requires equipment to view correctly.
it doesn't require it.
Okay.
It's just an added bonus.
So it's like one of those Mad magazine like folding things where it's like an image, but if you fold it, there's a message hidden in there.
Not really. It's like you put on glasses, stuff pops out at you.
Okay. Like what? Lions, tigers, bears, oh my.
Just the design. I mean, it's just a cool design.
Okay.
I guess if you wanted to, I could take a picture of it and send it to you.
Yep, please take a picture of it so I can put it on the episode page.
Okay.
Yep. You gonna do that right now or later?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, good. I'll vamp for a second. Now, what I would like to do, because I am a supreme asshole, is buy like a piece of wall art that looks like one of those magic eye things, and in absolutely no way is a magic eye thing.
Oh, so
But-
you're just like staring at it forever?
No, so that people will try and stare at it forever, thinking it's a magic eye. Yeah, that's it. That's because I'm a dick. I want to screw people over who visit my house.
I'm having a hard time getting the whole thing in here.
That's okay. Well, that's what she said.
You're right.
I'm going to take a picture of my latest wall hanging to send to Adam. We're like freewheeling Bob Dylan up in here this episode.
I guess. Yeah.
We're just freeballing it.
Ever since I became more hypothetical,
You've been sleeping a lot more.
that's true.
I know that firsthand. The listeners know that.
Yes. Oh yeah. So let's see. There
I
we
sent you
go.
my new wall hanging
Very nice.
on Google. I'll put it up on the website. Those who do not know, or if I have not mentioned it on the podcast, my upstairs is now 5 posters of Jonathan Taylor Thomas films. This is Wild America, There's the straight-to-video Adventures of Pinocchio movie.
Ugh.
I'll Be Home for Christmas. Tom and Huck. And the newest edition, which I'll put an image of on the website, borntheeighties.net, Man of the House with Chevy Chase. I've seen one of these films, Tom and Huck.
Well, you should have received the image now with...
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, Adam. You're really making some lifestyle choices here, putting that on your wall.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but okay.
I'm just saying. Adam, can I mention that our Hangout...
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we have a Google Hangout pop photos it shows like that.
Yeah.
And most of them are penises that I drew in the Google Hangouts. There's a lot of penises on here. There's some delicious chicken thighs that Adam was cooking. A picture of me in a costume. Adam's clean apartment picture. The flooding from the storm. You have a picture of.
Oh, right, yeah.
I have a picture from my Minecraft log for errors I was getting. Anyway, that is going on. So Adam has purchased artwork. That is one thing that he has done this week.
Well, I actually didn't purchase it this week. I just hung it this week.
Oh, so you bought it a while ago, and you thought to yourself, where's the best place for this to be?
Yeah, it was a Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, wow. You took a long time. What does that say about the thing, then?
Did
that say you didn't like it?
Nails.
And you just needed to purchase nails.
I needed to purchase nails.
No, I actually bought a wall hanging kit that came with a bunch of nails, basically.
That's
Because I
kinda
figure you always need those in the old tool kit.
If you have an old toolkit, yeah, I guess so.
I do. Oh, you don't live with me anymore, so I lost my biggest old tool kit.
Yeah.
Hey-o!
Oh, man.
I
walked right into that one.
You walked into it, and I slapped your face.
Yep.
So, Adam,
Yeah.
do you know how you and I hang out every E3?
Yeah.
What's going to happen this year when no one's at E3?
I don't know.
I mean, I think a lot of the E3 stuff's happening over, the weekend beforehand, it looks like. I guess EA, the company, pulled out. I guess Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are all going to still have booths.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess EA pulled out, Activision pulled out, and I think Konami is probably not going to be there. Wargaming.net, the tanks, World of Tanks people, and the airplane game people.
Yeah.
Disney Interactive, not going to be there.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, EA is doing their own special event before, as is Activision.
Isn't Bethesda doing a thing again, aren't they?
Yes. And they're not there either, but they weren't there last year.
Not really, no.
No. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what E3 this year is going to be, because it looks like no one's going to be at the show proper. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll still have press conferences to watch, but yeah, I don't know. God damn, man! Game news is just nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, The Division came out. That's some big news.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I do want to talk about one piece of game news.
Okay.
So have you heard about the Coleco console?
The ColecoVision?
Yes, the Coleco Chameleon.
Oh, does it have a new one coming out?
Okay, so do you know anything about the Retro VGS company making the Coleco Chameleon?
No.
Oh my god, we gotta talk about this. Cause this is some hot internet drama. But not even internet drama, but amazing drama. So let's kick it off way back from the start. ColecoVision is a company that made the Coleco, sorry. Is a company that made the ColecoVision console way back when in the day, in the late 70s, early 80s. Atari competitor. Now they don't really exist as a company. They're just kind of like a holding company that like licenses Coleco stuff now, but they don't like produce consoles or anything.
Yeah.
So Retro VGS, which is a like retro gaming hardware company, they like make stuff, I guess.
Do they like make like Retron type stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And so they put out they want to do a campaign for the Coleco Chameleon. It was announced last year. And the Kickstarter was supposed to come out on February 26th. And I guess the Retro VGS was the name of the system before. I guess they had tried a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo that didn't really pan out. But the idea of this, I guess either they pulled it or they didn't like the funding level. I mean, it only got 81,000 before it was pulled. You know what I mean? Like they were like, we're going to go bigger than what we had. So the Retro VGS is supposed to be pretty cool. I mean, the concept is pretty neat. So it's like all about games, and the idea is that they want to make like a system of which people can make like new retro games on. All right. So
there's
like
plenty of new retro games coming out.
Exactly. But those games, the idea is that games are basically, you can make a game for the Retro VGS or make your like retro-esque game compatible with the Retro VGS as a cartridge. And you can play games with cartridges like we used to do. Retro VGS. Okay, let me just meet Retro VGS. It's the first new video game system to play games from cartridges in nearly 20 years. Because there's no reason why everyone went away from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Retro VGS games start quickly and are thoroughly tested before they're released. So you never need to download and apply software patches, unlike downloadable games. Cartridge games are stored in their own media and can be collected, traded, and resold. Through its cartridge slot and standard USB interface for controllers and other devices, Retro VGS functionality can be extended without ever needing a system update. The plan is taking gaming back to its roots. Never patch a game. Never update your system or risk turning into a brick. No network connection required. No hidden costs from downloadable or streaming content. All about games, Adam. So they have a pack-in game. Sorry, continue.
Well, I guess I can kind of see the appeal, but it also sounds like all the worst parts of old games.
It seems like a fever dream to me. Like someone had like, oh man, I wish the past still exists.
Yeah.
Adam, do you want to know how much a Retro VGS was going to cost on this thing?
$200 or something.
$300.
$300.
Yeah.
That was my first guess, but then I thought, no way.
No way, huh?
Yeah.
So
Damn.
I guess they have a bunch of games here listed by a bunch of like, indie studios here. Like read-only memories, like a couple of these indie games that have come out on PC and stuff. Like Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, the Double Dragon trilogy.
Just want to play this on PC.
Exactly. But the idea is that they wanted to like make a game console that was like a game console. Like
I guess
I'm just saying it's
the thought of no patches scares the shit out of me because most of these things are going to be released cross-platform, like on PC and that, and they're going to be shitty on the cartridges.
Adam, you roboted out there.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to hear that again.
I was just saying that most of those are going to be released cross-platform on PC and this whatever system, and they're just going to be, they're not going to especially do a lot of bug work beforehand.
Yeah.
Just for that console.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just going to be shittiest versions of those games forever.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're getting the price that they're getting on this thing, basically. I
imagine it's probably because that's how much it costs to make a console if you don't have the kind of production lines that Xbox and Sony can do. Like if you want to have, like, it shouldn't require like crazy hardware, but I imagine Sony and Microsoft are big enough companies that they get, pretty good deals on their hardware and assembly stuff. So, I mean, it may cost that much for them to make it. I don't know.
So, Adam, let me talk to you about the specifications of this thing they had planned.
Okay.
So they wanted. So, can you guess what kind of CPU was in this thing?
Intel.
No, ARM 9,
AMD.
Cortex A9.
Ugh.
Yeah, so worse than the phone that I currently have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 3D OpenGL basically on because
Yeah.
I believe those mobile CPUs can do OpenGL from the CPU. 2D and 3D support with that, image enhancement, scaling, rotation, mirroring, etc. Whatever. That's what that thing can do. 1 gig of RAM. Sounds really pricey right now. I think those ARM 9 How much does an ARM 9 processor even cost? I can't even imagine very much.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna look it up because I just want to see. Shopping, $40.
So, yeah, that's retail.
Yeah. Texas Instrument, $40. They make one.
I wonder if it just costs like, maybe they have to like design and manufacture like the cartridge readers.
Okay,
and,
fair
like,
enough. Yeah,
cartridge
no, totally.
technology.
Because this isn't just hardware. This is like, because they're making this from scratch, so they got to get something out of it, because they're developing this console, and they're not a big company that can take a loss.
Right. So R&D.
Well, I mean, we're talking about probably under $100 in parts here. You know what I mean? Because of the connectors are just standard USB ports. And it's actually supposedly going to have D-sub 9 pins for controllers, which I guess is is that the old keyboard controller, the 9 pin?
That's PS/2, isn't it?
I don't remember.
That's
anyway,
that's the mouse one, I think.
Yeah, I don't really know, but apparently that's like a controller thing. Maybe in the retro community, they can use that as that maybe connects into like a translator for like old console controllers or something. I don't know, whatever. Audio video output, it's got HDMI, great. RCA, great. Composite, S-video. It's got like all your regular outputs for that.
Sure.
NTSC or PAL, user selectable, great. So it works in European and US markets and Japan, all that. Media player, it says. Plays media files from external storage devices. Okay.
So basically, you can hook up with a USB thing.
Yeah, basically. All right, our progress to date. 2013. Created initial concept, research market. Spent a whole year on that. 2014, Q4. Required mechanical design rights and tooling. They have pictures here of some metal looking like presses of the outside of the console. And then they're moving into like, right here, 2015 Q3, 2016 Q1, Phase 2, secure funding. They like haven't done these things yet. Like they're going into the future here on their plan. I mean, I think it's really cool. These guys are like trying to do something neat, and be all retro gaming, but this really feels half baked, at this point. So that didn't happen, right?
Okay.
So they spent some time off, and the Retro VGS renamed itself the Coleco Chameleon, and they got the classic gaming company Coleco to probably throw down some money on this, or at least say that they'll chip in when the crowdfunding begins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, put our name on it. We'll match you with funds, or we'll give you $1 million if it makes this much in the crowdfunding. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Yeah, like Sony did for the Shenmue 3. You know what I mean? Like, we'll help fund it if you put a Kickstarter up. Okay. So they're saying it can play 8, 16, and 32-bit games. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that's NES through Super Nintendo. And PlayStation? Maybe? No. 32-bit was the Super Nintendo, right?
32.
I don't even know what the fuck bits mean. It's bullshit is what it is. I know the Jaguar had 64 bits, and that was more bits, but the games looked like shit, so I don't know what that meant.
64 was 64 bits. So I assume Super NES was 32.
Maybe. All right. So the Retro Video Game Systems Company is made the Coleco Chameleon, showed some cool, new, basically branded hardware that looks similar, kind of has a nice retro feel. It looks a lot like the Atari Jaguar, because they actually purchased the rights to the original manufacturing molds for the Atari Jaguar. So it's going to look like a Jaguar. That's kind of neat, like they're going like, all right, we're going old school with this.
Frankenstein of Coleco and like.
Oh, you don't even know the half of
Atari
it yet, Adam.
Okay.
We're getting there.
All right.
Okay. So the Kickstarter campaign for the Coleco Chameleon was supposed to start on the 26th. That never happened. And they said they're pushing the launch out to make it better. They're like, all right, we got to push it back because we want to do some more stuff. Sure. Okay, so Atari Age forum members and games writer Frank Cifaldi visited the. This happened during the New York Toy Fair recently, which I believe was the end of February, and they had a prototype of the Coleco Chameleon, and you can see the images he put up on Twitter of this console. That he took pictures of it. They posted a picture on Facebook of the console, and and that. And so basically, the Atari Age forums people were like, "Man, the guts in that looks really interesting, huh? It looks really familiar." Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe at the Toy Fair they were showing off that it could play Super Nintendo games. Basically, that you could plug Super Nintendo games in there and it would play them.
Well, that's more of a benefit if you can also.
I think that was also what they were going for. Going for some of those old consoles that the rights to the keys or pins or whatever, or you're able to emulate them, I guess, or it was going to have emulation where you could plug the cartridge in, it could read what cartridge you have and emulate it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's been other consoles that have actually done that. I think isn't that what the Retron does?
Something like that.
Where you can plug in the actual thing and then it will it'll download a ROM of it or whatever, and then you can...
Yeah, I think basically what it does is it reads the console and it dumps the ROM from the cartridge into the Retron
hard drive in the Retron.
Yeah,
so
and then you can play it.
Yeah,
it's like
so
legal.
Just plays. It isn't actually like playing the game. It's emulating the game, but using a ROM from you, which is cool. All right, so. There's been a whirlwind of interest and speculation, says Coleco, Retro Gaming, which is the company, Retro Game Systems, or whatever their company's called. So, so we post these pictures up in the Atari Age forums, and basically someone compared the back of the system, which had a picture of it, to the back of a Super Nintendo Junior, which is the small Super Nintendo, like the little one. And it looks identical from the back. It has the same output on the back, Yeah. And then they had an image from the top of the Coleco Chameleon. And this was a see-through case, like that you can see all the guts inside. And someone's like, that looks like a PC capture card in the top of there. And somebody took a picture of it and put it side by side with an old, I think, RGB or VGA capture card. And sure enough, it's so basically what it looked like in the Coleco Chameleon that they showed at the New York Toy Fair was a Super Nintendo Junior with a PC capture card glued on top of it in a plastic shell. Yeah. The company said it was delighted by the discussion and plans to share official pictures in the time ahead. For now, the system remains a prototype. And they took the pictures down off Facebook that they had of the console that were this. And so no, this is a prototype, we got a real thing. This was just out there for the show. And then people showed real interest in carrying the product. These retailers, they're like, major game companies expressed interest in making games for the system. So anyway, beside only being a prototype, they said it's going to come out this holiday season. Okay, so check this out. ColecoVision itself, the company, issued a statement on Facebook saying it is aware of certain concerns that people have over Retro's prototypes. As a result, the company said it's asking Retro to submit its prototype to them in the next 7 days. 7 days they gave them. so the company can inspect it to make a final determination.
Damn.
And they're going to have independent engineers review their findings to determine if those units are up to our standards. We report some or all the findings to the community as long as they do not interfere with proprietary information. We remain hopeful that the community's concerns are merely speculations, but if there is merit to the concerns, we have no choice but to abandon the project rather than release a subpar product. During this time, we ask the community to allow us time to complete these inspections. Time extensions will only be granted if requested by the independent engineer doing the verification. Okay. Yeah. So, would you want to guess what happened?
They didn't provide it, or they provided it and it was shit.
Oh, they provided it, and
yeah.
Coleco issued a statement today. Let me read their statement on Facebook. Update: we were all anxiously awaiting. Retro VGS has decided that the work that they have created is not sufficient to demonstrate at this time. Consequently, we can no longer proceed with the project, and the Chameleon project will be terminated.
Oh.
The separation is amicable. We wish them luck in the future. We thank the game community for their continued support, input, vigilance, and trust. And of course, a bunch of people are posting photos to their Facebook. This Ed McCann has posted an image saying, "My offer on this super cool prototype is still good. Plays the arcade version of Centipede to perfection," in which he has taped a Centipede arcade board to a Jaguar console and wrote the word Coleco in MS Paint on top of it. I mean, hilarious. It is just insane. So, like, this is like, this was not a scam, if you will, but the people making this thing clearly were not ready for
out of their depths.
They did not have a prototype. They said they had a prototype, and that's why they pushed the Kickstarter back, because they didn't have the prototype. And Adam, do you know how Kickstarter works for physical items?
No.
You have to have a physical prototype for Kickstarter to see before you start the Kickstarter. Like, so if you're making a physical good, you have to have an actual physical prototype that can be like, okay, so this is an actual thing that you can make. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't just, So they want at least that sort of verification. So clearly, obviously, them saying they were going to delay for a bit is like, oh, we don't even have a prototype for them. And it's very clear they don't. So, I mean, it's just insane. And the idea of the console itself, I think, is neat. I would really love a dedicated system that could play old games that I could hook my TV up.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking of starting a project to do like a little fun project, and is buying a Raspberry Pi 3. And I've heard that those Raspberry Pi are really good as like emulation boxes.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can get Raspberry Pi, buy a 32 gigabyte SD card, put it in, set up I believe the app's called RetroPie, and it runs in Linux on the Raspberry Pi architecture, and it basically runs a bunch of emulators. I think like NES, or probably even before the NES, all the way up to PlayStation games. That sounds awesome. To have a tiny little portable retro game console with USB ports on it.
You just load the SD card with like ROMs.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And supposedly the RetroPie interface works with a USB controller. You can have it, so you won't need a keyboard or anything hooked up to it. So literally, you'll boot the thing, it'll load up Linux and the RetroPie OS that you have installed, and you can use your controller pad to start up the emulators and boot games. And that sounds awesome. Like, and then it'll hook with an HDMI right up to your TV. That sounds awesome to me. And the awesome part about it is that those how much does a Raspberry Pi 3 cost? Like $40?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, practically nothing.
Let me check it out. I feel like I should buy this because I'm kind of a tinkerer. I've never even done it.
I mean, the hardest part would probably be making the enclosure for it and the.
Well, yeah, but I guess a lot of these there's like a bit of a cottage industry of people selling 3D printed Raspberry Pi 3. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this will work. For $5, $10, because it just costs $1 of plastic and an hour of time to make. So sell it for $10. Raspberry Pi 3 is $35.
Nice.
This has the exact CPU that the Retron was going to have, an ARM Cortex 1.2 gigahertz. Actually, this one's 64-bit. I believe the retro game console is going to have a 32-bit ARM. So has integrated wireless and Bluetooth.
Nice.
2 USB ports. I forget. What is it? It has an Ethernet port. I believe it has HDMI out. Yes, HDMI is that. It has 4 USB ports, actually, and an audio jack. Yeah, so, I mean, cool. It's really cool. I feel like I really want one just because it's kind of like a fun, cheap, like, mini computer to, like, mess around with, I
wonder what kind of USB controllers there are out there that would be...
I actually have
handy.
Bought, because they were cheap on Amazon, and I can point you at Super Nintendo USB controllers that are really nice. They're like $12 on Amazon.
Wow.
I have one, and I have an NES one as well, because they were like, the NES one was $10 and the other one was $12, and I was like, well, I'll try both, and like if I like them both, I can play one or the other, because it was fucking under $25 for both. So yeah, right. It seems really cool, and I'm actually gonna look into buying one of these right now, because that sounds like a real fun weekend project.
Yeah, totally.
Because I have all my old consoles, but I don't want to hook them all up to the TV. If I can just have one USB guy. Yeah, so retro gaming. Yeah, so basically, I don't know why you would be charging $300 for something that is basically a $40 Raspberry Pi can do. You know what I mean? But the really cool thing about the Raspberry Pis are that like there are lots of like companies that make things specifically for them. Like this MCM Electronics makes a Raspberry Pi 7-inch touchscreen LCD display that connects right up to it. You know what I mean? So it's like basically, you can. This works with Raspberry Pi, so here's a fucking touchscreen, that you can attach to your Raspberry Pi, so you can make a little like gadget basically with a touchscreen. Yeah, it's really cool. Really awesome stuff. So that is something I think I would like to get into. So I'm gonna write that down into John's notes. Raspberry Pi retro gaming. Okay. Adam. All right. Let's talk about some stuff. Oh, that took up a lot of time. You were so right.
I know.
I'm always right. Well, all right. Now don't gibble your goose too much, Adam.
Don't what my what now?
Huh?
Don't what my what?
I said don't gibble your goose too much.
Okay.
Let's talk about something from you now, since I just talked a fuck ton about a bunch of shit.
Okay.
Adam, you played Soul Silver again. Anything to report? Any hot new Pokemons that you've gotten?
I got a Meowth. And
how fun
a
is that?
Magnemite.
What, a Magnemite?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I made a bunch of Magnemites my bitch in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the electricity gym. I think, I fucking rocked their dicks off.
Wow.
I forget what I had. I forget what I even did to kill them. Oh, I did the Pokemon thing of catching what's the fish, Magikarp, and walking around until it turned into a Gyarados. Because you have at least I don't know if Soul Silver has it, but Alpha Sapphire has the EXP share.
No.
Okay, that sucks. Because EXP share is awesome, and in XY and Alpha Sapphire, they actually made it no longer an item you have to hold. Because I believe before Alpha Sapphire and XY, I think in Black and White, you could get an item called XP share, and then just whoever's holding that would get experience. So you could have the one Pokemon that you wanted to level hold it. But now it just shares it with everyone.
That's awesome.
All the time. If you have it turned on, you can turn it off if you don't want that.
Why would you ever want it off?
If you're trying to like not level a Pokemon, I don't really know.
You can usually stop stuff from evolving. If it...
I know, but I mean, like maybe you want it to be a low enough level so you can use it to catch lower level Pokemon. I don't really know. Or you're going to trade it to someone and you don't want to like, I don't know.
Weird.
Oh, I know why. I'm sorry. I know exactly why, Adam. Because in the Pokemon fighting like tournament scene, there's different like levels. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah. You can
like
be like, oh, I'm in the level 30. You know,
okay,
six man level 30. You know, or the level. I think level 60 is what the most tournament is.
The one I've heard of are like 50 and 100, but yeah,
it's 50 and 100 are the big ones. But like, if you wanted to stay at 50 basically and run around, you know, you don't.
Yeah, I get that.
You can turn leveling off and experience off and all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what else? Sorry, you get a Meowth and a Magnemite.
I've gotten a bunch, but my current team right now.
Yeah, let's get the team.
I want to go take a look because I'm not sure.
Okay.
I got my partner Pokemon like from the start, my starter one.
Yep.
For this gen, which is Lava right now.
Who's that?
Lava.
Which one? Which one was that at the start?
Cyndaquil.
Okay, I think I took Cyndaquil when I did too.
Yeah, Cyndaquil is awesome.
Yep.
And yeah, he becomes like a ferret type thing, which is like a Quilava is like a ferret, fire ferret or something.
Yeah. The fire ferrets.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So I've got him. I know I've got him. I've got Magnemite chilling. I've got
like a villain.
Eevee.
Okay.
Because I want to get them evolutions.
Not of any of the evolutions of Eevee?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've got Sudowoodo.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Sudowoodo is a rock Pokemon
really
that looks like a tree.
Okay.
It mimics a tree. It also has like fighting moves. It's has fighting and rock moves. It's only a rock type Pokemon.
Okay.
That looks like a tree.
Got it.
A shinier red Gyarados.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Gyarados is awesome. Is Gyarados dragon type in that?
No.
Okay.
It's water flying.
Yeah, it's water flying and I think red and blue maybe the only ones where Gyarados was dragon type. He had dragon moves at least in those.
Oh, he has dragon moves in this too.
Okay.
But in fact, I think he's still water flying forever.
Oh, really? Okay.
But he gets a lot of dragon moves.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm confusing about. But anyway.
Yeah, and he also like fucking looks like a dragon.
Yeah, he's a water dragon.
Yeah, he is.
Quite literally an Asian dragon shaped.
Yeah.
Like Shenlong ass dragon.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
That's four. Who else is in that? Wait. What did I say already? I got Quilava,
Eevee, Magnemite,
Sudowoodo, Gyarados. Bellsprout right now, maybe.
Bellsprout?
Some kind of grass one, maybe.
Oh, I know. You're all about the grass Pokemon.
I had Stantler for a while.
Stantler?
It's kind of cool.
That sounds like your dumpy friend at a party.
Listen.
Sorry, I gotta go back and talk to Stantler.
Listen.
He's over there by the punch by himself.
He's got hypnosis. So.
Hypnosis?
Yeah.
That's how he gets all the ladies.
That's how he gets all the Pokemons. That's for sure.
Stantler. Oh, because he makes them fall asleep.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have him in right now. I have Kadabra. Gotta have my psychic guy in there. Who also has teleport to take him back to town.
Adam, do you want to know who my favorite Pokemon is that I have in my crew?
Sure.
My Alpha Sapphire crew.
Yeah.
Dustox.
Fucking
love Dustox.
That's some kind of like moth Pokemon.
Yes, it is the evolution of. Boy, goddamn, it's the Wormpull. Wormpull.
Okay.
Evolves into either a Silcoon or Cascoon randomly. And the Silcoon makes Beautifly, I believe.
Okay, right.
And the Cascoon makes Dustox.
Okay.
And Dustox is incredible. It's
Yeah.
actually, I believe, a pretty well regarded, like, high level Pokemon because Dustox has poison and psychic moves.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking awesome. Adam, at level 22, you get Venoshock, which is like one shots everything because it's like power 80 or something. It's super high, and it does extra damage if their target is poisoned, and I have poison powder. So it's basically a 1-2 punch to kill everything. And if that doesn't work, I've got fucking Psybeam. It's insane. I kill everything. And I have the fairy move Moonlight, which is a health restoring move.
That's pretty
I
cool.
fucking love that Pokemon. I've got my not my Swampert, whatever the second evolution is of the Toad Frogget or whatever his name is, Toget. I took the water one. I can't remember the goddamn.
Oh,
Froakie?
Frogadier. Yeah, Froakie goes into Frogadier.
No, that's not right.
Yeah,
Who's the starting Pokemon in Alpha Sapphire?
Froakie.
No.
No, that's XY.
Yeah.
Froakie's XY.
Alpha Sapphire starters. We're gonna have it in a second. Oh, it's Mudkip. Duh.
Kip. Yeah.
Mudkip, Trico, or Torchic. I did Torchic in the past. But I actually like Torchic because he turns into Blaziken and stuff.
You get Mega Blaziken.
Yeah, exactly. No, but fucking Mudkip turns into Swampert, who's a fucking badass. Just a fucking swamp mud fighting water Pokemon. I like him.
Terrible.
I like him a lot.
I don't like water Pokemon.
Well, anyway, I wanted to change it up because I had already played
Gyarados.
Emerald with Torchic, so
Yeah.
I wanted a new one. Yes, so okay, he's in my crew. My Dustox is in my crew. I've got a fire Pokemon, which is a Growlithe that I got through a Wonder Trade at level 1, who had like a bunch of super high level dark attacks. Like at level 1, I guess it was a bred Pokemon that had like, I guess whatever the dark attack is above Bite, the second tier of Bite. Crunch. Yes, he had Crunch at level 1. So I was like, sweet, I'll level this guy up. I have Makuhita, which turned into the giant sumo Pokemon.
Yeah.
That guy is fucking awesome. He's my fighting guy. I don't know. I got a crew rolling. You know, I like it. I got a Pikachu in a trade from an NPC, and it's a cosplay Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
So it's wearing this like biker jacket. Fucking awesome. I have a Pikachu with a biker jacket on my team.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different outfits you can put him in, and there's some pretty cool ones. Yeah.
God, I wish I had my thing right here because I know. This is like an Oscar acceptance speech. I know I'm forgetting someone.
Yeah.
I feel terrible right now because I'm forgetting a Pokemon in my crew. But they've all like leveled up recently. And
do you have any evolutions or anything?
No, fuck that.
I like the evolutions.
I don't even care. I don't know why people like Eevee.
Eevee sucks,
Shitty
but
Pokemon.
the evolutions are cool.
I don't know. People like were always. I remember as a kid, people were like, "Oh, which evolution did you get?" And I was like, first off, nobody called it evolution.
No, not
back in the day, we were just like, "Which Eevee did you get?" Because it was just the 2, right? The 3.
3.
The fire one.
It's Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon.
And which was the other one?
Jolteon.
Jolteon. I had Jolteon because I liked the electric Pokemon a lot.
Yeah.
I had Zapdos as well. I had all the originals. I had all the big ones. I pretty much.
Damn.
I don't think I caught them all, but I had like 130-ish. When I played red and blue. I have my red here. I could like look it up if the battery hasn't died, which is scary to think about. But I don't know. I think. What's your favorite type of Pokemon?
Oh, I like a lot of the dark moves. I don't really have a dark Pokemon yet, but I think dark seems cool. And other than that, I like the fire and lightning ones.
Yeah. I just asked because like in Alpha Sapphire during like the spot pass thing, it tells you to like list your favorite like type or something. You know, it has like a bunch of survey questions that will randomly display. Ice, I put as my favorite.
Ice is like the worst.
Oh, what? I love ice Pokemon.
They're like anything.
I love ice. Anyway, that's me. Quit your hating.
Ice Pokemon, are there?
Like, no. Maybe that's why I like them.
Is that Piglet?
You were just roboting out, Adam. Tell your brother to stop downloading shit.
You think he's asleep right now?
Well, he's asleep downloading a bunch of shit. Let me guess. Let me just say there was.
Wi-Fi.
What'd you say? That's probably the Wi-Fi.
This is my Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Lapras.
Oh, Lapras is cool. Lapras is ice.
Yeah,
it's water. Is it water ice?
Water and ice. Yeah.
Okay.
Shelder. I'm talking about the old ones. No, but Articuno, one of the birds.
Okay, Articuno's
alright. Dugong.
Seal, which I think evolves into Dugong.
Yes. Whatever terrible. That one that looks like a lady with the boobs.
A lady with the boobs.
Boob lady Pokemon.
You have to be more specific.
Boob lady Pokemon.
The janky one. I can't remember.
I'm looking up. I'm Google searching
Jinx.
Boob lady Pokemon.
Jinx.
Is it Jinx? I think you're right. Big boobs with Squirtle t-shirt masturbating xvideos.com.
Wow. Okay.
All right. We're full in. How do you spell Jinx?
JYNX.
JYNX. Yeah, it's Jinx. You know, in Japan, she was known as Rogula.
Okay.
Psychic Ice.
That's interesting.
Evolves from Smoochum,
Ugh.
which is a kiss type Pokemon.
Whatever.
It's like a little girl Pokemon.
Okay.
Psychic and Ice. Anyway, I don't know. I like Ice because they're rare, maybe. There's an evolution that's Ice, I guess.
Yeah.
In the later games. There's a polar bear looking ass Pokemon.
Oh, that one's really cool, actually.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. Maybe I just like them because they're like unique, maybe.
Yeah.
I just remember liking Articuno a fuck ton on my team.
I like a lot of the designs for the fire ones.
Yeah. I mean, that's legit.
Fire Arcanine. Girlife, which goes into Arcanine.
Yeah. I think I don't think Dragonite, but what's the one before Dragonite?
I forget.
It's the little like serpent Dragonair. Yeah, I think that one's Ice as well, but it loses that when it becomes Dragonite.
Yeah, it's just Dragonite.
It's just Dragon. Yeah. Anyway, I fucking love Pokemon, and
me too.
Yeah. So anyway, that's enough poke nerding out. I'd say.
Poking out.
No more poking out. Oh. Okay. Well, we've talked enough about Adam.
Yes, we have.
Adam's played some Division, but we don't got time to talk about that today. And Adam hasn't played any, apparently.
I played some. I'm like level 6 or something.
I haven't purchased it yet.
I'm 6% way through the game, I guess.
I haven't purchased it because I was worried, I guess, about it.
Yeah.
Because my computer's not super stable right now, and I don't have anyone to play with. So.
It did fuck me up a bit. My computer up a bit.
Yeah.
I had to learn the settings some.
I'm waiting for reviews to come out on that one, and it's probably going to be good, so it'll probably be in the summer sale for like $40, so
yeah,
that's probably when I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's great, though. So you'll have to play some more, and we'll talk about it next week, so we can tant that.
Yeah.
Adam will have some more Division views. Okay, so we need to talk about a couple things. I tanted this last week. Stardew Valley. Do you know anything about that, Adam? Aside from it being like one of the most popular games on Steam right now.
Actually, no, I was about ready to watch the quick look on it, but I did not.
Okay.
So, I as far as I understand, it's Harvest Moon comeback, but better.
I guess the best way to describe it, it is number 2 in the top sellers list, and I guess as of this Gamasutra article that I'm reading, as of that coming out, the Gamma Sutra article. It had sold 300,000 copies, which is pretty fucking awesome for a game. If you read this Gamma Sutra article, which we'll talk a little bit about, for a game that was made by one person over 4 years.
Damn.
So he's basically this guy who lives in Seattle, Eric Barone. He's 28. He was 24 when he started making the game. He said, on average, I probably worked on it 10 hours a day, every day of the week during the development. And now that the game is out, I'm probably spending more like 15 hours a day on it. He's talking about his one-man labor of love, Stardew Valley, which began as an homage to Harvest Moon. And eventually his idea was like, it's basically like, you know how like a Star Citizen is like the ultimate vision of like a privateer like space game?
Kinda.
But you know what I mean? Like that was their goal.
Yeah.
It's like we want to make the ultimate space game. This was like one person was like, I want to make on my own time, my own dime, the ultimate Harvest Moon game.
Yeah.
And he has succeeded greatly. That is why it's so popular. I mean, the game is just good. And it's crazy. Because he did the art. He did the music. He did the coding. I mean, this is like... And the art and music are good. Like, it is like... He put... I guess maybe he didn't do the music. I don't want to talk too hard. He did the art and graphics and code. Which is crazy. Because there's a lot of it in this game. But it's basically Harvest Moon. If you ever played a Harvest Moon, you know how those go. You go around a town, you raise crops, you go fishing, there's a mine in which you can dig and get like copper to like upgrade your tools, and as you get deeper in the mine, which apparently has 100 levels or something, you get better items. There's monsters to fight in in the mine. So it actually becomes kind of like a Zelda-like, top-down sword game a bit.
Yeah.
With you have hit points and everything. You collect like those pieces, and you go to an adventurers guild and sell like animal parts from the monsters you've killed to get money to buy like new swords and stuff, and like armor for your guy. It's like everything. The game. Like every single system in this game, the fishing, the crop like things, the animal husbandry and like animal stuff, the dungeon crawling is like super deep on its own, and they're all put together in this game. Like it's crazy. Like you could tell this guy has played a lot of Harvest Moon games, because I have played a lot of Harvest Moon games, like many of them on pretty much every console I've ever owned. And this borrows heavily from all of them. Like, oh, remember this like concept that was introduced in like the the PlayStation versions of the Harvest Moon games? Oh, he's got that in it. It's like, oh, some of the updates they did in the Nintendo DS versions were like some just ease of life upgrades with some of the like, usability. It's like they're all in here. Like it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? If you like a Harvest Moon game, which is basically like an RPG where rather than leveling your character, but you do level your character, because as you plant crops, you level your farming skill and get like upgrades and to your crafting, and you can choose like which, like you get when you get to level 5 in a skill, you get to choose which one you want to be. There's 2 different like skill trees basically. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But like it's like an RPG, but like rather than experience, you're gaining money for the crops that you're selling, or the like fish that you're catching and selling, or all that stuff. And like your character is your farm. And so as you get more money and experience, you can spend that to buy upgrades to your character, which is the farm. So you'll like build silos to store hay. And then now that you're storing hay, you can build a barn to put, cows in. And then you got cows to earn more money. And then you can buy a cheese maker. It's just insane. I mean, you can put hundreds of hours in this game. I absolutely fucking love it, though. Like, I mean, one of the last games I was playing was Story of Seasons, which is the newest Harvest Moon game by Natsume. It's called Harvest Moon Japan. In the U.S., I guess the rights don't work that way, but I fucking love it. I mean, it is just incredible. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, if you love a Harvest Moon game, or remember liking it, or you like an Animal Crossing game, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking love this game. It is good. And the pixel art looks awesome. It's kind of like one of those one more turn games, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, just one more day, and then my like pumpkins are gonna grow, and I can sell those, and then I'm gonna go into the mine and get 2 more levels down, because every 5 levels it saves your progress, and you can take an elevator back up. And so it's like, oh, I want to get to another level, and then there'll be iron, which I can use to get my pick. And then they're like, oh shit, the day's over. I gotta sleep. And then it saves when you sleep. And it's like, all right. Now today I didn't get all that stuff done yesterday, so I got to go play again. Yeah, it's just like an never-ending treadmill of game that is just satisfying, because the progression in it is just doled out in such a perfect way that you just feel like you're always accomplishing something. I love it. $15. You know, like, fucking A, man. Way to put a game out. You know, this is a game which, you know, to complete takes like 80 hours, which there's an ending, in scare quotes, after 2 years. Because basically, the story of the game is your character is someone who works at Joja, which is like Amazon, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Jojazon or something like that it's called. And which, this guy's from Seattle, so maybe a true story. Living at Jojazon and working, and you're like in your cube, and you're like, you see a letter, and it says like, your grandfather has this plot of land out in Stardew Valley, and he's retired. You know, like I can't work the farm anymore.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to you. All you have to do is, you know,
Farm.
show up this day. What'd you say?
A farm.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's like all you have to do is if you want this, show up and they'll give you the deed, and you can start farming and start your life anew. You know, escape, basically. You know, and the whole game is escapism to this idyllic RPG. Like this town in Stardew Valley would basically be like just an NPC village in a giant Final Fantasy RPG. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but you want to become like an NPC. It's like you want to escape from the rat race and just have some fun on a farm. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those games.
I gotta say, things don't usually go well for those farms and RPGs.
Well, you
worlds.
know, sometimes there's a quest to kill some monsters that are, you know, roughing up a farm. I know that Trails in the Sky, Legend of Heroes, one of the early quests is you go out to a farm where monsters are like eating their crops. So, you know, like, I don't know.
Just hope like the main protagonist isn't born in your village, or else it will surely be destroyed.
Yeah, of course, it'll be firebombed by some airship. Another cool thing about this game is that there is like a total air of secrecy around it. Like there are a lot of weird things going on that you see. Like for instance, there's an abandoned community center. And as you go in it, there's like little robots running around in it. And you're like, what the fuck are these robots? And they disappear when you get close. And then like this weird like robotic rune language, they say stuff and you can't understand it. It's like, what the fuck's going on? And I guess they're like helper sprite nature bots, something like that. I don't even know. I don't know much about them yet because I'm pretty early. I'm only in the like middle of the summer of the first year, so I'm like a month and a half in. And like they're basically like, hey, you need to get like bundles for us and we'll rebuild the community center, basically. So there's like another aspect there. I mean, it's all like crazy. There's so many like treadmills of progression in this. Where you're just like, oh, if I get this crop, then I can throw it in the community center bundle, and then I'll have like 10% complete, which gives me a reward of a random reward. You know, it's just like crazy. It's awesome. But I mean, for $15, you can't beat that. You know what I mean? Like the price and the quality of this game. This guy really knocked it out of the park. You know, with this, and the fact that I just learned that it was a one-man game is crazy because it is a deep fucking game. So it's a work of love and awesome. Good job. That's all I got to say about that. And that's all I got to say about that. Trying to make a relationship with Leah. She's the artist who lives on her own in a cabin. She makes like sculptures.
Like a ghost type scenario? Like a Patrick Swayze ghost type scenario?
Yeah, kind of. Except for that no one's dead.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. No. That's my lady.
She's like
all right. Or if you're into dudes, and Adam, you know what? I believe this game may be gay friendly because I'm pretty sure you can actually relationship men if you're a guy.
Awesome.
I believe so. God damn it. Let me look up Stardew Valley.
Look up Stardew Valley man living.
Stardew Valley same sex. Let's see here. The guy who made it, he did a Q&A. Is the ending at the game over? After 2 years, there's an evaluation event you can keep playing. So that's awesome. I was worried about that. I was like, someone said after 2 years you get evaluated. I guess your grandpa comes and tells you how good you're doing. And I was like, I don't want it to end. Because like part of the beauty of these games is there's no ending. You know, you just keep upgrading your farm until it's like perfect. Here it is. I'm already glad I'm able to play a girl. But will there be any possibility of girl-girl or boy-boy relationships in the game, or you can only woo marry the opposite sex? Yep. Same-sex dating marriage is absolutely supported in Stardew Valley. Woo marry whomever you like.
Cool.
No, here's another question, Adam, because this is the internet. No offense to anyone. Starting
Which
off,
means I'm about to offend you.
Yeah. But if the above-mentioned same-sex marriage thing is true, I would like to see an option 2 to disable it, as it is against my beliefs. I spelled beliefs wrong. Again, no offense to anyone meant. Meant is spelled without an A. Meant. His answer. Before any of the datables will say anything overtly romantic to you, you must give them a bouquet to indicate you want to date them. This avoids any unwanted affectionate dialogue from the wrong person. Not only for someone interested in a boy-girl relationship, but also those interested in pursuing same-sex relationships. So you won't need to turn anything off. If you only pursue people of the opposite sex, then you'll never encounter anything else. This game is basically built as you friendship everybody up to a level, and if you want to date someone, you give them the bouquet, and then the romance stuff starts coming on. Which is actually a pretty smart way of doing it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
There's no like, oh, I want to have same-sex relationships or what's hetero relationships. You don't have to make it a thing. You just the person you give the bouquet to will say romantic things to you basically, or will be like, okay, this is dating mode now. So yeah, which is awesome. Like just straight on built in same sex is in there, which is what I thought because it's like there's 8 bachelors and 8 bachelorettes and. You just pick the one you like and talk to them enough and give them gifts.
It's just like The Bachelor. You give them a rose.
You give them a bouquet, and then there it is. Yeah. Except for you have to give them a... Holy shit, Adam, I bought a bouquet. Oh my god. I just realized I bought the bouquet at the spring event. I didn't know what the bouquet was for, but it was expensive, and it seemed like it would be a nice gift for my lady, but I better hold off on giving it to her until after I get high enough up. Another thing that's great about this game, no fucking hand-holding at all. It just drops you in it.
Yeah. So
you have to like look up things or watch the television channels that give you farming tips or go to the library and read farming tips or go online. Like, I like that. No fucking useless tutorials about like, here's how you water a plant. Here's how you do this. It's like, this game is like expecting that you know what a Harvest Moon game is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, anyway. Yeah, so I fucking love that game. I can't recommend it enough. And I've already recommended it a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Like, I've never played a Harvest Moon game.
You might like it, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you like Animal Crossing at all?
Never played that either.
Okay. Well, maybe like it. But the best thing about it, $15. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And even if you don't like the gameplay, which I have a feeling you would, because it's neat. And the dialogue is actually pretty well written. And but... The art in itself is really good. I have to give props to the guy for the pixel art, which is really good in the game. Like, he just did a great job.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got to talk about the other thing.
All right.
I got to bring it up.
Sure.
Adam, Ham, do you want to know what happened this weekend?
You watched a bunch of Counter-Strike?
I didn't just watch a bunch of Counter-Strike, Adam. I watched the finals
of
the IEM tournament in Katowice.
Yeah. Katowice.
Poland.
Yeah.
I gotta look up their.
Kato Ice.
What the fuck is the name of this? Oh my god! Intel Extreme Masters Series.
If it's Polish, it's probably like Katowice or something.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's Katowice. Katowice. Spodek. Katowice in Poland. Anyway, this was a League of Legends, Counter-Strike Go, StarCraft 2 tournament with a $500,000 top prize for each of the games. Mainly League of Legends, Counter-Strike Go tournament. And it was all streaming online, and it just happened to be the Counter-Strike Go. The semifinals were the night before, and my favorite team now, and I'm going to throw my allegiance in them, just because now I'm a bandwagoner.
Yeah.
But is Luminosity Gaming. Luminosity Gaming.
Because Luminosity is the brain trainer.
Yes, the fake brain app that actually lost a lawsuit saying that they were tricking people, which I could have told you immediately. So there's Navi, Natus Vincere, which is like a fucking pro gaming. They do a lot of pro gaming. You know, they have teams in lots of different games. There's Fnatic, which is like the number one team. They're Swedish. There's Virtus Pro, big team. Astralis, Mouse Esports or Mouse Sports. All these like have like Dota 2 teams and stuff, whatnot. But Luminosity Gaming is a Brazilian team, and they're pretty awesome. So the way that I just got way into this as a competitive esport to watch. I don't know how else to say it. Watching Counter-Strike Go played well is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, even if you know nothing about the way the game is played, I could show you Counter-Strike Go highlights and you'd be like, that is impressive. Just people doing ridiculous things in a first-person shooter look impressive. You know, the Twitch speed. Yeah. It looks impressive. And I have a favorite player. I'm already thrown in on this.
Okay.
So Luminosity Gaming is it's actually now in Canada, but they started in Brazil, and most of the members are, and actually all of the players are Brazilian. But I guess they just there's an interview with Fallen, who's basically like the team leader, Gabriel Toledo, and he was like, I had to move from Brazil. You just can't. There's just the opportunity isn't there in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, for esports. But there are a lot of young players in Brazil. You know, as obviously his team has been fielded of these four. They upset Navi, the consensus number 2 team, to make it to the finals, in which they took the Fnatic, who's won 5 major tournaments in a row. They took them to overtime on 2 maps out of the 3 that they played, because it's best out of 3. They lost all 3 maps. They took them to overtime twice. They really had a chance at winning this tournament. And this is, I believe, their team started August last year. So this is like a brand new team of these Brazilian upstarts, and they're incredible. And LG Fallen is incredible as a player. And on the website, I'll put the player profile of him, the Valve player profile, because it's really interesting, because his story is really kind of interesting. So he's a little bit older than some of the other players. Let me get the exact age, because you know it's fucking esports, so everyone's like 12,
right?
Which is ridiculous. But I'm pretty sure he's not 12. He doesn't look 12. Yeah, he's 25. He's older than everyone else. He's 24. But considering most of the team is like, he's turning 25 this year. Considering most 18, of the team 19. Is like 18, 19. Yeah. He's pretty young. So he's basically the father of Brazilian esports. Like, he actually was on other teams, you know, way back in the this is great, the Liquipedia, the Counter-Strike Team Liquid Wikipedia about esports, and his profile page has his gear and settings.
Wow.
He has which mouse pad he uses, which mouse he uses, what settings he has, the Windows sensitivity, the zoom sensitivity, the in-game, raw input, DPI, like all of these things. He's got all his... he runs the game, of course, at 1024 by 768.
What?
Dude, man, that's how every FPS is played.
Yeah.
You play it at the lowest settings possible to reduce all lag.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're a pro, that's how you do it. Like, if you watch people play Quake 3, it's like fucking looking at, like, boxes moving around, because it's just like, no. Yeah, so this is the Intel Extreme Masters 10. They got second place. DreamHack and Leipzig, I believe, in January, early January, they got second place as well against Navi. So they've had a lot of second place finishes in the last 6 months. They're really, like, basically went from nowhere into, like, the top 3 teams in the world. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But so he is the Opper. He was nominated Best Sniper of the Year.
Wow.
No, he's incredible. There are video clips. You just look up Fallen Op, AWP highlights, and they're just insane. Like, you know, like the 360 no scope. You know what I'm talking about with the fucking that's what he does. And he is awesome. And but his story is incredible. So he did a bunch of esports in like 2009, 2010, like way back, or you know, he made a bunch of money doing esports basically and gotten like that. And he gave that money back to Brazil by forming Games Academy, which is a Brazilian esports organization that basically does tournaments, and players can go to the Games Academy and pay to get like lessons in how to play esports, basically lots of different games. And that money from the students goes into funding tournaments, you know, for Brazil. So basically he is building esports in Brazil by himself. Like, this guy is fucking awesome. And they actually have Luminosity Gaming, which is actually taking people from... It's like he's basically formed his own like feeder Games Academy, because prior to November, the team of Luminosity Gaming looked different. And in the end of November, 3 players from the Games Academy joined Luminosity, basically got called up to the big squad. And they have a JV squad called Tempo Storm, which has been doing pretty well in the tournaments as well. So basically he's like, you know what? I'm going to make Counter-Strike Go the Brazilian esport. Like, you know, he's basically, rather than, you know what I mean, making, like, you know, just going off and joining a international team or something. He's like, I want Brazil. I want to represent Brazil here in these tournaments. You know what I mean? Which is fucking awesome. Like, this guy is great. He's a great guy, an incredible player. He tops the kills on his team quite a bit. And it is just awesome. It's so fun to watch. I didn't realize how fun these games would be to watch, because the casters do a really good job. The people at the Intel Extreme Masters did a really good job announcing. Like, it really feels like sports. Like, these people, because I remember watching esports way back when, you know, it's like, whatever. This feels like a professional, like, sporting event broadcast. Like, they cut to the booth and they have, like, between matches, they got like a panel talking about strategy and stuff that happened. And then you have the people in game, you know, like someone will have an insane kill, and, you know, like the Mexican soccer goal, you know what I mean? Like, that's the excitement that these broadcasters have, and you really get into it. And I guess I got hooked. So I guess I'm gonna have to watch Counter-Strike stuff now, huh?
I guess so.
I fucking love it, though. And we talked about this last week, but the MLG Columbus in 2016 is the very first major, and that is starting on the 29th of March. And Navi will be there, Fnatic will be there, the reigning champs, Luminosity Gaming is going to be there, the legends already. I guess they've reached legend status because they've placed high enough in like the qualifier tournaments. So I guess the way that the Counter-Strike Go esports goes is there's all these worldwide tournaments that are small, and then this is like the majors. You know, I guess it's kind of like the way golf works a little bit. You know,
like the Masters. Or...
Yeah, exactly. Where you go around. Well, there's majors in golf too, I believe, or maybe it's called Masters. No, tennis has majors. Maybe. Is that what I'm thinking of?
No idea.
Well, either way, basically, is your team goes around, and then if you place high enough, you're granted a certain like status, basically, and so like they're called like the Legends, and the Challengers are a bunch of newer, smaller teams. Team Liquid. There's a team called Cloud9. Flipside Tactics was there. I think they're Croatian, maybe. Team Liquid's U.S. Counter Logic Gaming's Malaysian. Cloud9's U.S. I don't know. They're from all over. There's a Finnish team, Swedish teams, Norwegians. You know what I mean? Like the French team, Team Envy. I don't know. Anyway, lots of awesome stuff. There are the 16 challengers or 16 teams already in there. They kind of do group stage where you get seeded into groups based on your like ranking. And then you make it out of the group stage to the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. I am so looking forward to this, and I'll keep everyone posted because I am way into this shit now. And $1 million on the line for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy when you think about it.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, man. These guys get paid like salaries though to do this. Like it's, I mean, like because you're like, yeah, our team could win $1 million, but even if we don't, you notice our shirts are covered in like all of these companies' logos and stuff. You get sponsorship deals. When you play, you have all these like, oh, I have a Razer mouse. I've got this hat that says AMD on it and stuff. You know what I mean? They're really selling stuff, but. Anyway, love it. I'll post the Valve player profile of him, which gives a little backstory interview of the guy. And he actually speaks English quite well, so that's another nice thing as an ambassador for Brazil to esports. Where I mean, the language of esports is English, just because a lot of the games they play are English first, so people learn English. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So. I like CSGO. I got way into it.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, Adam will never watch it, but nor do I implore you to do so. I do not say you should watch this, but I was impressed at how good it was. Maybe sometime when we hang out, I'll force you to watch a highlight reel of someone playing. A 5-minute highlight reel. You could probably stomach that.
Probably.
Of a guy. Just want to say, Fnatic. In the finals, had an incredible situation in which the Luminosity had the bomb site as the counter-terrorists secured. So as the terrorists in Counter-Strike, you have to get to a bomb site, place a bomb, defend it before the bomb goes off. So the counter-terrorists had gotten to the bomb site first, were guarding it, basically. And the terrorists were trying to get in. Luminosity had killed all but one player on their team. On Fnatic's team, and of course that was not enough, and he pulls out the op, which is the large super big sniper rifle that is a one-shot kill no matter where you hit. Torso, one-shot kill. It is a monster weapon. It's super expensive as well, so you have to kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. Part of it could go into deep detail, but part of it, I didn't realize how deep the economy of Counter-Strike is, because you have to buy weapons every round. If you die, you have to buy weapons again. So the idea is there would be often times where you would just only buy pistols for a round just to earn enough money to have a full buy of loadout next round. So you're going to lose this round. But during the round, when you select pistols, if you can kill one or two of them, they're going to lose all those weapons that they were holding. So it's kind of like a weird like meta game on top of the actual Twitch shooting of like, oh shit, are they going to go for submachine guns, which are about half the price of rifles this time, and maybe get more kills, maybe win a match while they're trying to save up for those big sniper rifles. So anyway, grab a sniper rifle. The guys line up, and then it feels like slow motion. Perfect. Line up, the two counter-terrorists line up, and op bullet kills two people with one shot. Match over. It was like, what? 2-on-1. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you should have been able to do this. All they had to do was basically hide, because you needed to plant the bomb, but, they just poked their heads out at the wrong moment, and they both lined up perfectly. 2 for 1. It was, oh, boy.
Damn.
Whew. That was insane. That was a John jumping up out of his seat saying, "What the fuck?" The skill. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what's going on. That's my life now.
Okay.
That's my life now. I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm way into that. Don't know how much time we have left. Not a ton.
I think that's pretty much it.
I think we can wrap it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to talk about. There was a Kickstarter that I was going to talk about, but maybe I give it 2 minutes. There's not a lot here. Sure. So, I just want to get rid of this. So there's a Kickstarter, because I saw this story and I was like, man, I want to play that Kickstarter. So there's a Kickstarter that was called Bear Simulator.
Yeah.
Which looked pretty neat. In 2014, 4,000 backers pledged $100,000 for a silly game about being a bear. And the image shows a little bear paw in first-person view mode, and there's like a beehive, and it's like, try your luck at the beehive. Will you get a random stat or get stung? Who can know? So like you could try and steal honey. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. These fun games seem really neat. So I believe. Okay, so the guy who wrote this article, Mike Fay, says, I played the Bear Simulator. Well, it could certainly use a lot more polish and tweaking. As a first game from a first-time developer, it's pretty impressive. Not only did he manage to draw up enough in-strips on a silly concept to get enough cash to support development, but his first game made it through Steam's Greenlight program and onto the store itself. It has a mostly positive review average of 78%. Which sounds like a success. But his latest Kickstarter update was quite the surprise, in which he says, well, the game didn't have a great reception, has a stigma against its name, and there's plenty of other problems, so making any updates or going further is basically a lost cause now. Plus, I'm not skilled enough to make the game better than it currently is, or write better updates than previously. I was really hoping the Steam release would go well, but why would it? Should have just gave the game to backers and not bothered with Steam. Also, I don't want to deal with the drama anymore. Can't ignore it, because that causes more drama. Can't do anything about it because that causes more drama. It was really fun making the game, trailers, updates, website, tutorial, blog posts, and stuff. Hope you like those things. I'm glad most of you guys are happy with the game, unless you're just being nice to me. Really must thank you for all the emails and comments. I learned a lot. Hopefully the game lived up to your expectations. But basically he's saying I'm done with the game. I'm not going to update it because of the negative
receptions.
Yes.
Like the negative reviews and stuff.
Yes. So basically what happened? So it's like, what is the drama with this? Like, he made this game, only like made $100,000 on Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a crazy huge release that just was able to build this game. He's a first time like developer. While the drama. Well, Adam, a man named, this guy's like, I'm not the only one that played this and made a video on YouTube. A man named Felix Kjellberg also played the game. Do you know who that is?
No.
PewDiePie.
Oh.
Played the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to watch the video. It's got 2.5 million views. Doesn't need me.
Sure.
The video is very negative about the game, about how broken and terrible it is. Which has really brought in the negative reviews of the game, and it's crazy, and it feels bad because this is someone who's trying to get into gaming and like development, and clearly has developed a game that is an actual functional project, that people have played, and it has positive reviews on Steam. People are like, this isn't bad, this is obviously buggy but not completely terrible. I paid whatever $10-15 for it. So some people, say he's not the best at communication. I guess there are people in negative reviews are complaining that they didn't get their rewards on time. The game was buggy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that his review got flagged as abusive, where he was negative about the game. And it's like, okay, don't do that kind of thing, guy. You kind of feel bad for him. Whereas basically he had this cute idea for a game and it really blew up. And I guess the PewDiePie video isn't the only thing negative about the game, but it certainly doesn't help having 2.5 million people view a review of a game where it makes the game seem terrible.
Yeah.
But Cliff Blazinski actually had a really funny tweet, which I thought was totally true. He says, I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, the internet's mean. On the other, welcome to game development.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the way people are when it comes. Everyone's a critic, you know.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because it's like the PC is just so much like so much easier to develop a game as an indie developer now. You know what I mean? Like the tools are there, Unity, all these great programs on developing. You can do it. Like you and I could do it. You know what I mean? Adam? But I'm saying that I'm not saying you have the will to, but I'm saying the tools are there for anyone who's technically literate to be able to build a game. You know, if you have the idea and the willpower to learn, it is not difficult. There are free tools to do this. PewDiePie's video is private now since the posting of this article. So there's been some updates since I last read this. He just said people tweeting at me hate for making the Bear Sim developer quit. If you ask the internet for $100,000 to put out a bad product, then what do you expect? Finish the game. Some people obviously liked it. It's true. It wasn't all negative reviews. I just find it's interesting because like someone like this guy, John Farjay, put something out, you know, and his goal was only $30,000, Mr. PewDiePie as well. So just because it got $100,000 doesn't mean that's what he was asking. He asked for $30,000, which is probably what he was like, that's enough to feed me for a year while I make this game. You know what I mean? Which is funny. And he had, and the Kickstarter itself was funny as well, because the stretch goals were basically, if I make, my thing, I will spend a $250 donation to adopt a polar bear from the World Wildlife Foundation. You know what I mean? Like all this dumb stuff. Like I will buy a bear fur coat to wear while developing the game, but note, not a real bear fur coat. You know what I mean? Like all just jokey, really well written, fun kind of Kickstarter. But like, you have to realize, Mr. Pew to the D to the Pi, you have real power as someone that people look to as a games critic. You know what I mean? Like when you make a funny video about a game, it could really hurt someone. And this is something that happens in indie development and how like these small one-man or two-man teams are, that, you make a game or you have a prototype that gets out there, and like some like PewDiePie or like an Angry Joe or someone comes in there and basically rips your game a new a-hole in like a green light state, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna play that. The negative, the talk around the game will be negative. You know what I mean? You can't really dig your way out of that, especially as a one-man team. What are you gonna do? You don't have a PR department to dig you out of this. You know what I mean? But then he posted a real long description. I took my video down after hearing the developer felt discouraged from getting harsh criticism, most likely not only from me. So I'm not interested in making people feel bad, so I took the video down. But later, after hearing he stopped developing games in total and gave up on this product, it kind of made me think I should keep the video back up. Obviously, you don't stop making video games because of one person's video. Me taking it down made it feel like that was the case to some people. The video speaks for itself, but I don't think it's a shame he stopped making games. I've been faced with very harsh criticism personally, and I know it can be rough as hell, but you can also learn from it and grow from it. By abandoning this game, you're letting the people who supported you down, which isn't really fair to them. There's been plenty of times when I felt like quitting YouTube, for example. It doesn't make sense to do it. Just because some people don't like it? Although, being public on the internet is something everyone can handle, I can get that. Here's to hoping the developer has a change of heart. Take this video with a pinch of salt, like all of my videos, honestly. Man, I hate on PewDiePie, but he has the fucking head on his shoulders, huh?
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think
his humor is not for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I certainly know that he is a very well-spoken guy when he needs to be.
Yeah, and I think he's a hard worker too.
Oh, duh. I know people are like, "Oh, duh, he just makes videos on YouTube."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, man. You've heard about his life story. He was talking about like how he was like basically like living off of ramen noodles and like on like a half broken, busted ass computer to like put up videos that he, you know what I mean? Like it was like he had a rough time. You know, he put the hours in on developing these videos and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, come on, man. But seriously though, sometimes I feel like that was his reaction as well to this. You know what I mean? Because he took the video down. He's just like, man, I really didn't want to make that guy hate himself with that video. I was just having fun fucking around with this broken kind of game. And whatever. But to be fair to him, don't give up. You know what I mean? Like, are you in this? You know what I mean? Like, you had fun making it. And, you know, one guy made a video ribbing on you real bad. Is it going to be a problem? I don't know. This reeks of a web redemption type thing for me. You know what I mean? I feel like there's some... maybe PewDiePie will reach out to him and someone will be like, I'll bring you in and we'll make fun of it and we'll shake hands and we'll be happy. But it is kind of the way it is though with PewDiePie, like, and these guys. If you say, if they have minions, you know what I mean? 2.5 million people. If you tell them like this game is shitty and this guy should be ashamed of it, people will bombard this guy with negative stuff because the internet is terrible. The power you wield is heavy. You know what I mean? Like, And you may say in your YouTube description, take this video with a grain of salt, but I don't think everyone who's watching it is thinking that.
No, but that's not really his responsibility either.
It isn't, but when things like this happen because of him, it's clear that he has an effect, and maybe he needs to at least somewhat understand the ability that he has to ruin lives.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's his responsibility to do so, but maybe if he knows that, it's maybe think twice about adding a disclaimer about, like, you know, I don't really know. It's not his job to do that. You're totally
right.
You know, but it's kind of like one of those things is like, all right. But, you know, when you think about that too, though, and I always hate that when people say, oh, you know, I got criticism myself. And it's like, yeah, you did. And you're being the person that criticized you right now. You know what I mean? You're being that guy that you hated back then. But you do things like that.
I bet that, like, that game probably got more buys because of PewDiePie's videos than it did.
It is possible. Totally possible. But also like, even people that watch PewDiePie's videos are pirates, so...
yeah. Maybe.
To be fair, he skews to a younger audience, and the younger you are, the more likely you are to download things illegally. At least it seems to be.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because you have less money.
I was gonna say that seems to be more of an income-based thing.
But that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like his audience skews younger, and younger people tend to have less, you know, fun gaming money. Yeah, exactly. More likely to download things illegally. So, you know, he may have gotten a lot of press for the game, but, you know, I don't know. The guy got, like, really offended by some of the criticism that not just PewDiePie was having on his game. You know what I mean? Like, people were probably emailing him how terrible his game was, you know, and that really hurts. Like,
welcome to game development.
What?
Or actually any creative process.
No, I know, but that doesn't mean it should, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like well, that's just how it is. It's like, yeah, but it shouldn't have to be that way.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm not saying that you can say that's the way it is, sure, but it shouldn't have to be that way. In a perfect world, the criticism would be, oh, that wasn't very good. You probably shouldn't play this unless you're really into bears.
Yeah.
But then maybe you are. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, the discourse on the internet is always terrible.
Well, yeah.
In a perfect world, it would be better. Oh, interesting. Well, I got that out. Now we're done for sure.
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah.
What's your word of the week?
My word of the week is retron.
That's not a real word. You're just going with that, huh?
Retro gaming.
Retro gaming. Hyphenated, so it's one word.
Nope, no hyphen. It's one word.
What?
No hyphen.
Oh, okay, no space.
Retrogaming.
Retrogaming.
Yep.
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
Retrogaming?
Retrogaming. And that's how it needs to be pronounced. No space.
Forever. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Adam, what's the website?
The website is bornintheeighties.net.
Yep. Go there for the links I mentioned and be an awesome person and give us a high five on the internet.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
Damn it. Like and subscribe. We like to play songs for the people.
Indeed.
We're the Beatles. Even the fifth one has died. Alright,
I wonder
well...
what that guy's doing.
What?
I wonder what that guy's doing.
Being dead?
The fifth Beatle.
Yeah, the George Martin who died?
No.
Their,
Well,
like,
see...
producer guy who, like, did all that stuff?
No. The other drummer before Ringo.
Oh, yeah, that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy?
He's the fifth Beatle to me.
He's the fifth Beatle. Alright, Adam. Oh, my God. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being ready for this.
I'm always ready for that.
Adam,
Uh-huh.
we're going to talk a little bit about some stuff. I've gotten myself into a world. A new world.
A Stardew Valley.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's the thing after that.
Pokemon.
Well, the thing before that.
Oh, I'll have to look again at the thing. I had it pulled up and then my screen went dark.
Adam, you didn't put anything under what you played.
I played...
Oh, fine, Mr. Ham. Let me document for you. I'm your fucking secretary.
Awesome.
What'd you do?
I played Pokemon's Soul Silver.
Oh, no way. I could have guessed. But I did the same thing. Pokemon Soul Silver. Is there a space?
Yes.
Well, I'm not putting one in. Okay. Yep.
And The Division.
You're going to have to talk about that because I have not played The Division. Also, no
I haven't
space
played
for that.
Much.
Oh, you played it, though, huh? You know, Adam, if you buy games, you should probably play them.
Yeah. Well, I slammed it out like a day.
Well, like 2 days. It was playable Monday at 9.
No, and if you're Pacific time, it's
Oh.
playable 11 in Central time.
I didn't realize.
Midnight Eastern.
God damn, I'm just a burpman. All right, anything else?
No, not really.
You didn't see any films?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Oh, good. I don't know what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was typing, and my finger slipped off the keys for something, and it loaded Adobe Audition.
Wow.
I don't know what hotkey that was, but I did it.
That's weird.
From the keyboard. Maybe it's like last closed app. Must have been the thing I did.
Could be.
My computer hasn't crashed in a long time.
Good.
I'm worried about that, though.
Oh. Yeah.
And now it could happen because it's been so long. Let's check the reliability monitor. Reliability history. Last system crash, hard lockup crash, was Saturday. It's been a while. Thank you for getting back. All right, let's do this. You ready? I have no news.
Neither do I.
Apparently nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Stuff did happen.
Not really.
I had more in here. I thought I had more in here.
We went through a bunch of stuff last week.
Yeah, but I feel like I had more in here from this week. Oh my god, Adam. I have fallen deep down the rabbit hole into another world.
Yeah.
Into a world in which I got the bug. Not that bug. A different bug.
CSGO.
Yep. But what is the what's a good video game news website?
Giant Bomb.
Videogamenewsheadlines.com.
Kotaku.
Oh, let's do GameSpot. This is the first one that came up.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
There's a pretty lady doing some news on the front page. Division, blah blah blah. We could talk about thinking. Oh no. My God. Sorry, I'm burping like crazy. Well, do you have anything else to talk about? Do you have any topics you want to talk about here? Because we're running soft here on news, so
We'll probably be fine.
You have no planning.
Nope.
Come on,
That's
man.
because we usually end up talking for a long time about random shit anyway.
Yeah, but we got to have stuff ready to go.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily. We'll run out.
That's
then
funny.
there's nothing in
And
the
then
show.
it'll only be 45 minutes long. It's still long.
No, it's that's.
It's long enough.
Oh my God.
Every episode has to be an hour and a half.
Oh, they do.
Don't
It's the length of the show. That's just the way the show is. It's the way the show's always been.
No. It's not the case. No, sometimes it's been
It's
3
true.
hours.
The first episode was 3 hours.
And actually a lot since then, 2.5 or 2.
Okay, but going 45 would be farther away from that then.
Yeah, I know.
We have a brand.
We don't need to have a 3-hour show every week.
29 minutes.
Boom.
29 days.
Oh.
Adam, update the goddamn website.
What do you mean?
Buy the domain name.
Oh.
I got a 29-day expiration.
That's a lot of time. It's $29.
No, 29 days.
It's April 9th.
I've sent it to you.
I've seen it.
Well, I sent it
I've
to
been
you.
getting them. Stop sending them to me.
Well, once I stop getting them, you'll stop getting them. All right, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw a question if we get to it.
Okay.
Because I don't even have a fucking John's pad this week.
Yeah.
I didn't write anything in the pad.
Mm-hmm.
I carry the pad with me in my pockets.
You carry a pad in both of your pockets?
I carry the notepad for John's pad in my pocket.
Okay. You said pockets.
It goes everywhere with me, so I can have it. But I didn't think of anything to write in it this week. All right, we're in 207. Ready to start?
What can I say? It's been a slow week.
Adam, every week's a slow week.
For me, yeah. But apparently it's been a slow week in general.
A slow week in general. Yeah, it really has. I honestly can't think. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened, stuff I don't really care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there's the Xbox stuff that's interesting.
Is it?
I think it is. About how they're like, hey, we're gonna be a PC now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. That's kind of what they've always been shooting for, though.
I guess. But we can talk about that.
I don't know. I guess.